even the heart of the cards are on my side here too.
There
So
you go.
we'll go with it.
There you
All
go.
right, so I'm
Davis just
recording.
believed the hardest.
I did. Maybe I just rigged the game. But anyways, let's just go with it. Here we go. Welcome to the CFG GameCast, episode number 42, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on the weekends and release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. We are also on our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, if you've missed any episodes in the past, so definitely check it out. So show us some love. Give us a follow, a like, a thumbs up, what have you, and also just stop by in any of those services to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me are two of my favorite awesome co-hosts. I got Lex on the second seat. How are you doing?
I am doing well. I took yesterday off and just unplugged and didn't do anything, and it was fantastic.
Oh my God. It's not, it's so good to be to completely unplug, especially with the climate that we are in today right now.
Yeah.
It's so nice to do that and then just to kind of relax. So that's good. That's definitely good. Everyone needs to have some sort of time to do that kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I on the other hand did not. So I need to do that soon before I go crazy. That's good. That's awesome. Yes. And I got the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, my friend?
All right. I know you're just probably waking up zombie-like with the crazy gaming that you've been doing the past 24 hours.
Let me tell you real quick. So I streamed Thursday, Friday. Both days I had issues with my ISP throttling my upload speeds. In the middle of my streams, it happened, it was crazy. I was getting 1 up out of nowhere.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I put a thing in and nothing. It corrected itself in the morning or the next day or a different time, and then it did it again the next night, but it was much later when it happened. So they're doing I don't know if they're doing rolling throttles to people's internets. And whatnot, but that was that was definitely frustrating. However, last Oasis, they brought their servers back up the other night. Gosh, we played it a little bit on stream. It is so freaking good. Well done.
I'm starting today after
That's
podcast.
Right. That's
yes.
right.
Yep.
Yeah, they did the development team, they did a good job communicating with the community. They brought it back. That game is super fun. I highly recommend go checking that out. But I was up until about 8 o'clock this morning playing that. Had a ton of fun. So, and then I woke up and here we are. So it's been a good weekend.
Yeah, it's straight. You had a perfect weekend, man.
Yeah,
you had little to no responsibility right there.
It's been fantastic. Well, got some Animal Crossing in. Excuse me, yep. Animal Crossing in with the family too. We got another set of controllers so we could all play at the same time. It's been fantastic.
That's awesome, dude. You definitely need that. You deserve that, especially as hard you've been working the past week or so. So, yeah, definitely. Oh, and if you didn't notice, we have a very special guest with us today. I'm so glad that she came with us to go see to be a part of the conversation. We have the amazing Gothix. You should definitely check her out. Let's give her a shout out for Gothix here in the chat. So, thank you so much. So, Gothix, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I felt like I didn't do anything today. Like I said, I woke up around noon time. I'm losing track of what day is what with all this quarantine. I can't figure out if it's Sunday or Friday, But otherwise, I'm doing as good as I can be.
That's cool. And if anyone doesn't know who you are, what do you what do you do? What do you like to stream? What kind of stuff you like to do?
I like to stream nonsense, so complete and utter nonsense. So if you're looking to just have a good time and laugh your ass off, that's what I mainly do. I don't really have much of an agenda except just go with the flow.
Yeah, I definitely love the setup, the space, the spaceship, everything. Steve, all that stuff was really it's great content. So
thank you.
Definitely, thank you for stopping by on the conversation. So as for me, man, I've been actually chilling. I'm actually chilling this whole past week, which is actually surprising. I've been so caught up. I finished Lex. I did finish Persona 5 Royal.
Did you?
Yes, 130 hours. It took me 130 hours to beat that
I saw
game.
the review got uploaded.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
The
you saw
long-awaited review.
Hey, what'd you think of it? It was a good review. You gotta say, I was a pretty good review. So, like, don't want to toot my own horn, but
135 hours.
Yes.
I mean, it should be a good review.
It should be a good review.
I would
Yes.
be shocked if it wasn't.
Here's the scariest thing. I'm doing it again. I'm playing it again.
I got a Twitch notification for you streaming it.
I love the game. The game is so
Wow.
good. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I love RPGs, man, but this one was like, I was like, I kind of want to platinum this, and because I love, and this makes me want to play the game again. So I've just been on the grind on.
I put at
coming
least
back.
100 in the first time I played it, like the original.
I'm playing the
Oh,
original
yeah.
now at night.
Stop playing the original. You
No!
gotta do it.
Are you gonna give me the game? I am not made of money, man.
See,
Okay, well.
I'm conflicted because I never finished Xenoblade Chronicles, the original one.
Mhm.
And now they're coming out with the HD remaster of it and
Yeah.
everything, and I'm like,
Yes.
I thought it was just gonna be your typical upscaling, but the textures still aren't gonna be great or whatever. But it looks really, actually, like a lot better than I thought they were gonna do.
I
thought,
think they
like, they're
upgraded
actually-
it to exactly like
they're like
how
they're
Xenoblade
put
2 was.
yeah, it looks like 2. So now I'm just like, do I go back and finish it, or do I wait a couple months?
Yeah, yeah. Oh no, wait a couple months. Just wait a couple of months. You might as well at this point
That
because
means I
everything is
have
going to be
buy
complete.
it again.
Oh my god! And this is where, I guess that's where Lex's reasoning is there. That makes sense. But go
Yeah.
for it. And,
But
I'll
she's
play
gonna
it.
buy it again anyway.
I am.
that is true. That is true.
I
But
mean,
anyways,
my birthday's also coming up, so you never know.
okay. Well, there we go. Yeah, you never know. Maybe someone would be nice enough to give you that game because that's what it's going to be. But if you want to check the video out of our the Persona 5 review, we just posted it inside the chat. Definitely take a look at it. But let's get this party started. And basically, let's do the whole rigmarole. So each of us chooses a new topic or discussion of video games that came out the previous week. The topic would or could be about a specific game or something that happened in the gaming industry. We don't want to talk about this amongst ourselves. We want all the viewers that are on that's on the stream to be a part of the conversation. So if we have Faye in the background, looking up everyone's comments. If it's something that you're wanting to add to it, by all means, do it. And if she'll let us know, and we'll put it a part of the podcast. So definitely, let's just we'll get this going. So we'll start with our special guest, Gothix. What do you want to bring to the table?
Y'all, we need to talk about this coronavirus and how the coronavirus is saying no games for you because The Last of Us 2 got delayed and I'm very upset. So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. Yes, big time. I will definitely I have some things to say about that too. But go for it. Okay, but yeah, go for it. What do you why does it upset you so much?
So, like, first of all, I'm just emotionally attached to the storyline, and I don't normally say that about a lot of games. It just had like a beautiful storyline to it.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it, and like I'm just a little bit scared about the indefinitely thing because as far as I know, like, are they done with the game? Like, is it like finished development?
Okay, so they didn't officially say gold phase, which basically means gold is usually when it's going to be it's ready for virtual production at that point. It's not quite ready, but it's like a month away for it. And then but they didn't officially say that. They but like I think that it's not a matter of like I feel how this delay happened is not because of production. Like I think it's because of the climate that we're in. Because overall, the way that when they first initially pushed it out, we were like, okay, that makes sense. You're wanting to scrub it, scrub it. But the way that they just kind of just said indefinitely, when they say indefinitely, that means that they were not close whatsoever to release this thing, which I don't believe that they were not, because I mean they've been working on this forever, and it's way too late Like, I mean, it would have been technically a month away for it to be released at this point now, and so I think they just didn't want to release it during what's going on currently. Personally, I mean, it's not official, but that's what I think.
Yeah.
But
See,
Yeah.
Lex?
I
Go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead,
Sweetie.
Lex. Go ahead.
Well, here's my thing. Like, there's a lot of like movies that are being postponed, because they don't want to. I mean, lose out on that revenue. And I understand. You put all this money, you put all this time, you lose out on revenue. So for them, I'm gonna think of it from like a marketing standpoint. It's stupid because here's the thing, it's not a movie, it's a video game, and if you're not releasing it because of the coronavirus, that's absolutely silly. You have such a huge fan base. I haven't even played this game and I know how big the fan base is, which I'm usually oblivious to stuff unless it's in my little world of nerd. But this is a game that I looked forward to playing. I wanted the second one to come out because I didn't want to play the first one, and the second one I'd have to wait for it. Do you know what I mean? And so because I'm not a patient person, like I'm instant validation. This is why I hate ordering stuff online. But from a marketing standpoint, now is the perfect time. Yes, maybe you didn't get to like release it at cons and all of that, but here's the thing: is all these people are sitting around twiddling their thumbs, waiting for something to do. Now is the time to put it out. So I mean, I'm curious as to what their reasoning is. Like, was it not done, and because of the coronavirus, you have people out and sick, which is understandable, and it's terrible, and I understand firsthand on that one. But at the same time, it's what are you guys doing, and what does indefinitely mean? You know what I mean? Like, give us a little bit more details than that. Is what my thought process is. Go ahead, Sweeney. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning the same way that you are, and we know that they had to delay. I'm completely fine with games doing that and companies doing that. If you need more time, people are willing to wait for a completed project, and especially something that's so highly anticipated. It kind of feels to me like they're using this as a way to push it back a little bit. Again, I kind of feel like they're not at a place that they feel good about, because again, even though there's this digital copies, there's no shipping that needs to be done, any of this stuff. So I can understand physical copies being delayed due to the coronavirus, but there should have been nothing stopping digital copies, I feel like. Again, I don't know exactly how that world works. Do you have to release your physicals at the same time as your digital? I'd say in an ideal world, yes, but this is not an ideal world right now. Things are you know what I mean? So, and kind of to Lex's point, this is the time now that you want to get games in people's hands. Everybody's indoors. Everybody's looking for something. These are, I'm just as heartbroken as everybody else. I've been waiting for this. The Last of Us is one of my all-time favorite games. It's a fantastic story. I'm ready to get back in and explore that world again. So, again, there's definitely there's heartbreak there, but I'm not one to jump on the, oh, how dare you guys do this. Look, man, all right, I don't know what the deal is, but clearly you guys need some time. You guys made a decision to ride this out a little bit. I trust enough in what you guys have done, what you guys have produced with the first one, that whatever you guys need to do to make this fire, do it. I'm cool with it. So,
But like I said, I don't think that. But it's just something about it just makes me feel like this was a little different than what we've normally seen, what we've normally saw. Like, I mean, like, dude, there was a giant purge of games that were delayed because of because originally, remember, March was supposed to be a stacked month of like all these games: Final Fantasy VII, Last of Us 2, Neo 2, all these different kinds of games were going to be coming in at the same time. And then eventually, Cyberpunk 2077 was supposed to come out in March. But like so all these things got pushed back accordingly, which was perfectly fine, because we were like, this is way too many games coming out in 1 month that you're trying to kind of put everything together. But like when Last of Us 2 was a part of that, we were like, okay, this makes sense. It's not like you're waiting for a year. You announced it early, like you did in Final Fantasy VII remake, which was like announced 4 years ago, and then just come in and just say, okay, it's coming out this year. We know it's coming out this year, but like I feel that when they said a delay, like when they were going to delay it, and then they just say, okay, well, it's going to be delayed. It's going to be delayed for this period of time. Then it's like, okay, we understand. But they decided to skip it. They decided to just say, we're indefinitely going to say, we're indefinitely delaying this thing,
What
which
does
is
that mean?
like, yeah, which basically gives them an infinite amount of space or wiggle room to say, okay, so what are you going to do? We know you're not going to release this game in the midsummer because that's one of the worst months, even in general in the normal climate. It's one of the worst months to release a game. You don't want to do that. You would want to release the game either in the August or September. Do you want to release a PS4 game during PS5 in October, November when the next gen system's going to come out? No, you're not. You don't want to do that. So I mean, like, so what are y'all planning on doing? Like, are you planning on pushing it forward to the next gen system? And then just say we're just going to say to the PS4.
Yeah.
There's so many different things.
Dude.
Yeah,
They
There's
would be
so
many
fools.
different
They would be
thoughts now.
fools not to
Yeah.
have a PS5 version. That's why I think that they're stalling because they're working on that. Because why would you? They did the same thing happen with The Last of Us. Kinda. It was around when that cycle from PS was it PS3 to PS4.
3.
Yeah, 3 to 4. And I was like, I'm not going to go and buy this on PS4 now. I already have it on PS3. So I never went in and did a lot of the things because, again, I never went back and started playing my PS3 again. So I feel like they're trying to not make that same mistake, which that to me makes sense. I
mean,
I get it.
Nintendo did that for both Twilight Princess and Breath of the Wild, so there's no reason why someone else can't do it.
Yeah, but Twilight Princess did a little bit different though. They basically did a mirror world, which made it release at the same time, which was actually kind of cool. Like if you've noticed, in Twilight Princess, Link was holding his sword on the right hand in his right hand, and in the GameCube version, it was the same game, but he was holding his sword in the left hand. So like right was left and vice versa.
Yeah,
Which
Link
decided
is traditionally left-handed, but
yeah, yeah. So
newer games, he's not like that was when I even loved Skyward Sword. Like I didn't have problems with the motion controls, but I'm left-handed, so it was like I had to get used to it for sure.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, it's like So I mean, I don't know. I mean, sorry. Were you gonna say something, Goth? I'm sorry. I thought you were gonna say something.
No, I think that kind of what you said about like the summertime is kind of like the worst time to release a game. It could be that maybe because of the huge following that they have like a dedicated fan base for this game.
Yeah.
I would kind of feel bad releasing something while this whole thing is going on right now, because it's like people were expecting like a big like hurrah, like here it is, you've been waiting for it, instead of just like limiting it just to like downloadable copies and just kind of doing it just to do it.
Right.
Yeah, so I think it could be a combination of just like not wanting to just kind of go for like a lackluster release, but also maybe because they're working on something for the next gen.
that's a good point.
Do you know what I also kind of think though too? It's actually, could it be also that they may be a little bit afraid of like, it might be hitting a little too close to home on what we're experiencing kind of right now. Not to the level of what Last of Us is, but I mean, it's essentially what we're kind of doing. It's like it's barren, it's desolate right now from the most part from big cities and stuff. Maybe they think that it's not the right, place to kind of say, hey, we're going to be doing a post dystopian civilization of like what's happening and just for people to survive. I mean, it's so many different options, but dude, the thing that really punched me in the gut was the word indefinite. That's what really got me. It's like that hurts. Like you just like I was saying before the show, it's like we were perfectly fine for GDC to be moved over to a later date. We were perfectly fine that E3 was completely canceled. But when they said Last of Us Part 2 was indefinitely delayed, we're like, what the hell is this? I mean, we just decided, we were kind of like, okay, we just want to flip a table for this because this is like, that's like, I mean, what, Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming out in literally like 6 days. 6 days from when we record this, and it's like, what if they just said, okay, we're going to indefinitely delay this one too? It's like people would probably grow crazy fits. Yeah,
they would riot.
They would have social distancing riots right now. So, yeah. So I don't know, but so it sucks. It sucks, but oh man, we'll need to be keeping a close eye on when this game comes out. Just because I mean, Last of Us 1 was a freaking masterpiece. I was like, it's one of my favorite, one of the best games that came out on the PS3, and unfortunately was like near the end of its time. But it's like 2, we have high hopes for 2, especially the hype from what they've been saying for the past 3 years on it. So yeah. So, but that's cool. No, nice topic you got there, Goth. That was good.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. So the next one, we'll go with Smitty. Oh, what are you bringing to the table?
Surprise!
All right. Yeah, I know, dude.
What I'm going to say.
Yeah,
what I'm going to say.
Real quick,
Yes.
before we go to the next person, Uria has a question about what your favorite game is, Gothix.
BioShock.
Oh, I know you're a BioShock fan. That's cool.
Specifically BioShock 1. Even 2, wasn't a fan of the third one.
What was that? Infinite, or was that or was there like a prequel or something? I can't remember.
The one with them in the cloud.
Infinite is it's
Infinite.
like a it's a prequel sequel weird thing. There's time travel, dimensions, all that weird stuff.
Yeah.
I really like Infinite, but I know the story definitely isn't as strong, but I like the gameplay in Infinite the best, but I think BioShock 1 has the best story.
Oh yeah.
I mean, people have been wanting me to play that game. It's like it's on my to play game list.
Oh, you gotta play it.
Oh yeah, it's a great game.
Okay, that's cool. That's definitely cool. Let's see. Bad Mark just proposed that social distancing right would not be right. Also,
Everyone just glue yardsticks to their belts and just spin around. Stand up far away from me.
It's like, all right, 6 feet, 6 feet. Yeah.
Everyone has to make a 6-foot sign so you can just like shove it at people if they get too close.
Did you see that picture of the guy with the saucer? Like he literally had like a strapped like a saucer around him to show the circumference so no one could touch him around.
I did see that.
Hilarious. Yeah, it's like that's what everyone's wearing for that riot. It's just a straight discus line of discus people.
My favorite's all the really bad homemade masks.
Oh,
yo! Somebody on my Facebook literally was using her thongs as masks.
Oh no!
Straight
no,
up,
she was not.
Straight up, dude. I am not lying.
Used thongs?
No, not used, not used. She specified they're clean, but still,
I don't believe
her. I like no, dude. She posted pictures and everything, dude.
Oh, that's disturbing.
My favorite one I heard of when watching a stream was.
Enough, right?
Maybe her mouth's real small.
I just don't.
My favorite one I heard though was some dude had like one that was it was made from like a plastic bag. You could see the Ziploc like label on it, and it was just fogged up.
That's disturbing.
Yeah.
All right, Smitty, what do you got to bring? What are you bringing to the table?
All right, so I can't really believe too that I feel like I've been sleeping on Amazon and their entrance into the gaming space. So they actually have there's a sci-fi FPS shooter that's coming out. I believe it's this month. Called Crucible. They've been working on this and whatnot. Again, I've been sleeping on this. I was not familiar with this really at all. But I find it interesting. You know, again, we know that Amazon owns Twitch. So, you know, they're actually working on, for this summer as well, games that are going to be interactive between the streamer and viewers, which obviously between the two, there's going to be some nice integration. I'm excited for that. But they've got an open world MMO that's coming out as well, and I just want to kind of get into the article real quick as far as what they're doing on cloud gaming. It says that they're developing a full-fledged cloud gaming platform under the code name Project Tempo, and it is working on new casual games that broadcasters on its popular Twitch streaming service can play alongside viewers in real time. Yeah, this other one that's kind of Lord of the Rings inspired and whatnot, but I think this is I'm kind of excited to see what they do both in the gaming space. Obviously everybody knows that there's kind of this race going on, I feel like, with cloud gaming. Stadia came out. We all know I just canceled the sub the other day. I forgot that it was still charging me. Google, you got me. You got me, Google.
Oh, by the way, do you know what's funny? Yeah, Stadia did. Well, no, I canceled Stadia last month, but yeah, I was the one probably out of the group of us, the one advocate of it. But still, but hey, I said try it before you hate it, and then I did, and then I was like, this is actually not bad technology, but from what they're doing, it's not for me.
It's just not there yet.
I don't think it's going to ever be because of the decisions that they're making on it. But yeah, I don't know.
Not Stadia. GeForce Now, though, I felt like was a lot more
definitely not
viable. However, GeForce Now they're running into their own problems with developers pulling out. There's that weird thing where they never signed it. They were all part of that beta for it, but once it actually launched, they started charging their subscription fee. Obviously, these developers said, we need our piece of the pie as well. So they started backing out because they had no formal thing with it. So it's like that I felt like is like infrastructure wise and how it ran, or what we got that taste of it. I feel like it's pretty solid and has been one of the most successful cloud gamings. But we know that Microsoft Cloud X is coming. PlayStation has partnered with Microsoft as far as with being able to utilize their structure for cloud gaming. There's another one too, and I can't remember. We know Amazon then is coming out with Project Tempo, so they've got a foot in the race there. And I think there's another one too, Microsoft. Or no, I already said that.
Well, it's kind of weird because because I knew about Project Tempo for a long time.
We've talked about it.
Yeah, but they didn't.
Yeah,
so
I don't remember talking about that.
You brought it up because I wouldn't have known of it otherwise, to be honest.
Well, this is something that they've been doing for Amazon's been working on this ever since they bought Twitch. So this is something so in a position wise as a company to be starting to be in the gaming space, they actually have product from the as opposed to what Stadia did, which was they're depending on third party a lot initially. They do have one game that's exclusive to Stadia, which was Guilt. But other than that, they don't have. I mean, then they do have studios, but it takes 2 to 3 years for those games to come out. So, but Amazon's been working on this forever. The one that you were just saying. I didn't even know Crucibles was the first one that were coming out. I thought the Lost World was going to be the first one, and they've been working on the Lost World for literally since 2016. And so they have 3 games that's coming in the process now, mixed with the fact that they own Twitch. Their level of integration for that platform, since everything is going to be, I'm assuming, is going to be going through AWS, which is Amazon's cloud system, is going to be ridiculous, especially for streamers. I mean, people who like to stream and like to entertain and stuff, because some of the stuff that they were already introducing inside Lost World, for viewers for the interaction was actually surprising. And I think when I messed around with it was at TwitchCon 2018, I believe. So so I'm surprised. I would like to, the idea of Amazon doing their own gaming that integrates Twitch to it is a great idea in my opinion. So I think it would be just the idea of what they're wanting to do, what they can do, and since they have both sides of the spectrum as a viewer and as a gamer viewer as in the streamer side, they can do a lot with it. So I have high expectations on what they're going to do with Crucibles. Actually I did play Crucibles. It's like an arena based shooting game. So yeah, that was all. Yeah, so it's really cool. I mean, so what did y'all think?
I've seen a commercial for Crucible, and I when it said, "Are we going to run out of toilet paper?" Like that image, I've seen that image before. So I know I've seen these commercials, which is more to say about that than the Resident Evil 3. Like I don't even know what's going out. Crucible looks cool. Someone brought it up to me. I want to say Quack Quack last year had said something about Crucible, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was talking about some sort of beta testing, but by the time I got to it, it wasn't open anymore. I could be completely wrong on that.
Mm-hmm.
It looks really neat. I mean, here's my thing. If a game isn't eye-catching from the get-go, probably not gonna really I mean, it's kind of like you eat with your eyes kind of scenario. I feel like
Mm.
I take in a lot of stuff visually and then I decide from there. I'm also disabled, so I don't see well. I have light sensitivity, and everything that you just showed me is like perfect for me to play. So it looks pretty cool. I'd be down. I feel like they're getting ahead of it because from a Twitch standpoint, I know if I'm watching someone play Overwatch and I'm getting drops on my end, I'm a happy camper because it's less work for me to do. I can vacuum and I'm getting drops. Yes, please. So, I think that's really cool to integrate it. Like Twitch Sings definitely has integrations. Some of them are a little weird. But if it's something along those lines or even maybe a little better, I think that'd be really cool. And I think the audience would like it and participate. Sometimes you do have I hope it's not too much participation because sometimes you have those 17 people in your chat that are just like, I don't feel like clicking on anything, So we'll see. I think it's a great idea. I want to see it in action. Is my thought.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Anything? Were you gonna say something, Goth, or were you?
No, I mean, I knew that they were working on a game. I didn't know specifically that they were going to try to do some integration stuff, which I think is pretty neat. But I'm kind of in the same boat with Lex. I want to see what they have to offer as far as the integration goes, because there are times that I'm just like, yeah, let's collaborate with the audience, and then the audience is like, I'm making dinner.
I'm busy. Sorry.
But I mean, that sounds cool. That trailer looks beautiful, so I'll definitely give that a try.
You know what? Well, it's like, but like theoretically, it's like like one of the worst things for me personally, when I used to play MMOs, one of the worst places to do, or the worst features that they like to like shove in our faces as a gamer, was open world PvP, like or a area PvP, like a specific zone where you had to do some sort of specific, like things just to PvP with people, and people never really like like decided to give it a try, and it was like that, like not just a specific game, but a lot of different most MMOs during its time. I mean, but the best way, I mean, don't you kind of feel that it's like this is a perfect opportunity to see that level of integration, to kind of start messing around with it, to see what people would like to, like what people are wanting to be entertained with and stuff. Because I mean, like you Gothix, like for instance, like I mean, you have a really good sized following of people that like to watch you, like I mean, be you and just play games and be interactive. Like I mean, like if they tell you like, oh, if you do this for me in this game, I mean, don't you think that would actually engage your audience even more towards that?
I think it depends, because like I said, some days I get a lot of engagement, some days I get nothing. People just want to sit back and watch me play the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm personally one of those that like interactiveness. I like engaging with my audience. So like I think I'd be more excited to play something like that than my actual community would.
Yeah. I feel you on that.
Yeah. But I mean, maybe the community doesn't want to play it, but maybe I think the community would like to. I think maybe it would be kind of a cool additional thing, not like forced thing, but an additional thing that they could actually help you, they could actually be a part of it. It's like, yeah, we're a part of the Goth squad, and we're gonna knock all y'all fools out by just doing these crazy incentives, So I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, I think this is the infantile stages of that kind of integration is what I'm saying. It's like just like how trophies were really aggressive back in the days. The trophy system for PlayStation was really, really aggressive back in the days, but most people, it was a hit and miss. But they've refined it to a point where it's very doable now. So like, I mean, this is like, I think we're in that kind of space right now for it,
I think if they can figure out a way to make people want to engage, that's the key. Because for instance, like Twitch Sings, like they can vote to like, while you're in the middle of a song, which I'm blind as a bat, so someone in chat has to like in caps tell me there's a vote, or else I can't see it. But like sing like a bird, you're like, what does that mean? And sometimes you get a lot of the voting, and then half the time, or most of the time, honestly, you really don't. So it just kind of depends on like how like, what's the incentive? Is it going to give them like in-game loot? Is it, you know what I mean? Like, there has to be something that makes the audience want to participate in something like that, or else it's just us going to be playing a game for them to watch, which again, that's totally fine. But unless they really give a good incentive to make someone want to do that, I think it'll be hit or miss, you know?
So, like, how I feel about it, though, is that I feel like, again, it's all about how you frame it and how you put it together. A lot of stuff, especially within communities that you're building or you know, you have your communities, I think it's a great tool to be able to engage with them, have some direct fun with them, you know, depending on what kind of cool, crazy things that they can do integration-wise. I think it could be you know, I don't know that, you know, again, this might be something, and I think this is where that good opportunity comes from, is that it's something that's new. People are going to want to try it out, you know, so I think people are more apt to, especially as it launches, to go in, they'll want to participate. So I don't know that necessarily you need, and that'd be cool to have some sort of, hey, you know, you get, I don't know, Twitch tokens or something like that you can use towards something or whatever, or maybe it's like a channel points type of deal or something like that, you know what I mean, to where people are being, they're wanting to engage and
rewarded.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be a fun way to be able to, again, connect with the community that you have, and just people. I think if you present it to people, people are going to be eager to want to do that, to be able to have a chance to just do something fun and hang out together.
Yeah,
I mean, and we could be overthinking this entirely, and it not be anything that we're even. Sorry, Redna, that we're even remotely thinking about. You know, I'm Italian, okay? I can't help it. You know, it could be something that it's like super simple, and we're like, that's integration, and it, you know what I mean. So we don't know until it comes out. It looks cool, but like at the same time, I'm like, am I overthinking this? Is this gonna be not as cool as I think it is, or even cooler than I thought? You know what I mean? We don't know. Like, what does integration mean? It could mean a bunch of things, you know. So
I mean, speculations, but wait. Well, first off, when is Crucibles coming out? It should be coming out.
Dude, I'm pretty sure that's this month. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Let me see if I can find it in the article real quick.
Can I make you mad?
In May, after several. Yeah, so it got pushed back. So originally.
May. Okay.
Yeah, originally I think it was last month it was supposed to come out, and then it got pushed back to this month. But I don't, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not this month. It's May now. Uria says it's May.
Or next month. Sorry. Yeah, next month. I don't know what everything is melting together at this point. Okay, so
at this point, everything.
What year are we in?
4 walls around you is just slowly closing in. Yeah, that kind of thing. So yeah.
March 75th.
Yeah, March 75th. Year 3. But the good topic, Smitty. Let's move it on to Lex. What are you bringing to the table?
Well, I have a few topics. My first one is short and sweet, so I'll get on with that. Detective Lex is on the case. Are you guys ready? This is more for you guys. So, not you guys, but them. So
if I had the Inspector Gadget theme song right now, that's what I would be doing right now.
Epic Games responds to a house party hate with a bounty. Now, earlier, I want to say in the week, you may have seen a tweet, and you may have not seen a tweet, so I will enlighten you. You're welcome. We are investigating indications that the recent hacking rumors were spread by a paid commercial smear campaign to harm House Party. We are offering $1 million bounty for the first individual to provide actual proof of such a campaign to bounty@houseparty.com. So if you're like, what the heck is House Party? It's kind of like a Discord, but it's Epic's. So Epic Games, Fortnite, they have a lot of free games right now. So if you don't have the Epic launcher, I recommend you get it, even if you're not a Fortnite player. There are a lot of free games that are going on, and it may not be something that you want to play, but maybe someone in your household. So just an option, by the way. But House Party is basically like, like a Discord. So you can play like tabletop games while being able to hang out with your friends during the pandemic. Great, right? Everyone loves that. Well, here's what happened. Some hackers got into a lot of people who were using House Party, so to speak, and were taking information like passwords and things like that, changing passwords so then they couldn't get into stuff. It was evident that something had happened, right? Hackers were involved. Now, here's the thing about, if you don't know, I'll tell you how hacking works. If I can get into your computer and I can steal one password, I can steal all your passwords. That's your banking information. Did you do taxes? Did you save your document? I can see your social security number, right? So it's not just like, oh, they got one little thing and then they got kicked out. No. If I can get into your computer, I can get everything. So it was evident that hackers came into many people's house party situation, so to speak, and nothing was really stolen though, right? So they got their banking information, but money wasn't missing. So it was almost like someone went in and pranked, right? Which that's not a prank, that's not funny. If you steal my password, I'm gonna be pissed, right? And that's what all these people were saying. But at the same time, it was almost like someone was doing it intentionally to get people to stop using said house party. So rumors spread, and Epic finally came out and said, okay, if you guys are saying that this is a smear campaign, show us proof, we'll give you $1 million. So there you go, guys. Merry Christmas. Go find who did it and give it to Epic.
So, but then you're like, they should actually give it to you to be like, oh, here you go. I actually gave it the wrong link, but what's it called? Yeah, just give it to you as a commission,
right?
Because you're like, hey, you're welcome. I let you be aware of this. $1 million. Wow,
yeah,
that's crazy.
Well, and I have friends that are using House Party that aren't even gamers. So I told a bunch of my friends, because they're using Zoom and House Party, which Zoom had a lot of hacking and going on at the beginning of the pandemic as well. Yeah. A lot of people, like in the middle of conference meetings, like, you know, across the world from like US to Japan and vice versa, were having like their computers just hacked and like someone saying the N-word while they were in a meeting on Zoom. Stuff like that's going on. Wow. So I've told people, if you're going to use services to have like professional meetings, it's just best to create a server on Discord. It's safer that way, it seems, because I mean, I haven't heard anyone say that they've had issues with Discord since all of this happened. But I mean, with a newer application, you're always going to have issues, right? But with something like that, Epic is one of those companies that would put in firewalls so that things like that don't happen, right? And especially like on your cell phone, if you're using the application and you get hacked, that's a big deal, because a lot of the times your iPhone is saving all of your passwords, right? So that's red flags for everybody when that happens. So I mean, not to say that you should use the application, I'm just saying if you want $1 million, get to investigating, you have plenty of time.
Just go for it. That's so weird though. I mean, that's just such a weird thing. But real quick, Mad Mark 1997, why is Epic trying to be better than Steam and Discord? I don't think it's that. I think it's, you know, I mean, with companies and to do these kind of, to have their own kind of proprietary things, like sometimes companies feel like they just need to do it.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, like, I think one of the best prime examples of this is just anyone who's in the FGC community is wanting rollback code for online gaming. Get this, the technology is absolutely free, but companies refuse to do it because it's not made by their own company. So who knows, man? It's just like it's very, very weird, you know. So who knows?
I'll be honest, from like a non-gamer standpoint, for like my gal pals, House Party seems like it's more user friendly than per se like a Discord. Like my dad,
user friendly, really? Wow.
I think it's more of like, it looks more of like a FaceTime integration versus like an actual server where you can then post like memes, and you know what I mean. It's less interactive in that aspect, but more interactive in the, we're going to play heads up with our whole group of friends and we're all in different spaces. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I mean, with having a heads up integration, I don't know if you guys have played it. We're huge board game fans, but I also love card games and things like that. And heads up is so much fun, especially when I'm in the hospital and like someone comes to visit me and they don't bring cards. The conversation gets lulled very quickly. But heads up is a huge game in and of itself. Ellen DeGeneres created it. So for them to then partner with them is kind of a big deal, and so I feel like that's more incentive. But for the person who doesn't want to think and just be able to see their friends who may not have iPhones, you know, for FaceTime capabilities, House Party is kind of like the easy go-to. I gotta be honest. But for us intellectuals, Discord still works. So what are you gonna do?
I'm cool with that. Yeah. I mean, if it's simple, okay. In that aspect, I see why it's simpler.
Simplicity makes people go for stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah, big time.
No,
people don't want to think.
That's pretty cool that they're setting that up, and hey, prove it to us that that's a thing. But I had never heard of it until you had said something. But just kind of looking at some of the video and stuff like that, I could see that as being kind of a simplistic way of just being able to connect with other people, especially if you don't have like an iPhone or something like that.
Right.
It's a nice platform for that. So simplicity is absolutely king when it comes. I feel
never
to
even
things
heard
like
of it.
that.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised that like I had no idea that they had their own.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean their own kind of deal like that. So I was just like, that's surprising that they had their own platform to do something like that. So
Yeah.
more power to them.
Right. And I'll quickly go over my last one. It's a 7 spoiler free. You heard me right. Spoiler free. Tips for playing the new Resident Evil 3 that just came out. Number 1. Explore every area thoroughly. This should be obvious.
Right.
But there's some new things in Raccoon City. I'm not going to say more, but just look around more, okay? Don't be lazy.
Did you call it Macaroon City?
I said Raccoon City.
I want to live in Macaroon.
Is there a Macaroon City?
Macaroon
I'll
City.
go there too.
I'm
like,
all about that
That's
place.
Animal Crossing.
I'm like, I don't recall Macaroon City in the Resident Evil.
I gotta restart
That
Animal
sounds
Crossing. I
delightful.
gotta change my island to Macaroon City.
Yeah. Make everyone have bloodstains on them. Number 2, you don't need to kill every enemy. Fun fact. For obvious reasons. It's not Doom. You don't have to kill everybody. Red barrels are your friends. Always remember. They go explodey. Knife every zombie on the floor. You never know. They could be alive.
That should be like that's just an apocalypse, like a zombie apocalypse, like common thing that should always happen.
They're all gray and they look familiar. Stab them all. You never know. Kill the first zombie at Raccoon City Police Station. I would read why, but if I do, then I spoil things. So just do it. Watch Nemesis in every encounter before wasting any of your ammo. He's a hard boss to beat, and the remake, they're not going to make it easier for you. So save your ammo. Make sure you watch his counterattacks and use your ammo wisely. And number 7, last but not least, expect to be surprised. And that is all from me. And I know it's like they gave up. You're gonna be surprised. What does that mean? I don't know.
Don't worry about it.
Good about it.
Knifing zombies on the ground is just like a drag. I almost said dragon for some Dragon Guard meme. No,
that's the mayor of Macaroon City.
It's a Resident Evil staple. Like I remember the very first time I played Resident Evil 4, I struggled, and then I learned you're supposed to just knife the crap out of them. You shoot them in the leg once, and then you just knife them to death.
Half the time they won't move when you shoot them, and then you got to knife them to make sure they're actually dead. But yeah, I just, I thought it was a silly article. There was another one, but it had too many spoilers. Also, I had no idea Resident Evil 3 Remake was out. I saw everyone playing it the other day, and I was like, did everyone have a meeting that I just wasn't a part of? What happened here? And so I was looking, I'm like, that looks familiar but different.
I didn't realize it actually got released. I thought it was getting released in the summer.
No one said nothing to Lex.
Don't you find it funny that literally the 2 biggest games that are coming out that's been coming out are remakes from games that came out back in the 90s? Like it's kind of very weird to me that's like, wow, okay, that sounds awesome.
I mean, look, I'm playing games on my Game Boy again, so like when I'm using the facilities, I've been busting my Game Boy out and playing some old school games on there to keep myself busy.
You talking about the old school spinach green Game Boy, the one that, or you're talking about like the Game Boy Color?
My Game Boy Color, which is green.
Oh, okay.
I've been busting him out, and then I'm too old and I can't see the screen very well, so now I'm looking into getting a backlight, and I'll put that together during the pandemic. It'll give me something to do.
I think it's time to get an SP.
No, I'm not buying another device.
I'm so mad about the SP. Like, as a child, I got my Game Boy Advance a week before they announced the Game Boy SP.
Isn't that the worst? Don't you hate that? I got a PlayStation 2 right before. Well, no,
Look
that's
at
a
all these
lie.
rich people that are around you, around me right now. I would have been loving to have it, like at least any of it. But like the last thing I had a Nintendo, skip to a PlayStation, skip to the middle of the PS2. That's all I had.
Oh,
My
no,
big
no.
Christmas gift, and I got like nothing else. And then my sister got a Game Boy SP a couple months later. So she
Oh,
had the
man.
nicer one, and I had this thing that didn't have a backlight or anything. And I was just like, oh man.
You know,
Pandemonium. We got a Dreamcast a week before they dropped the price. That's terrible.
Oh. No, you know what? I never had a system as a kid. I always played on other systems, but I was also outside digging holes. I feel like we've discussed this. I don't know why I dug holes.
We
That's
have
what I
not.
did.
I don't remember this conversation at all.
That was the thing I did.
Why were you digging holes? You
I
just
don't know.
digged holes?
Yeah.
Trying to catch the dragon?
And then I would take my mom's like powdered sugar sifter. Vegas, there's not much to do, okay? And we would sit on the side of his house, and I would sift sand, and we made soft sand, which we could then turn into concrete. I don't know. We pretended we were construction workers, but we did this every day for like 10 years, okay?
My God.
But they had a Nintendo, and I would play on theirs, and then they had the first Game Boy, and I didn't get a Game Boy until much later. I want to say it was at least 9 or 10, and the Game Boy Color had been out for a while. There was no news that I knew of like another system coming out. But I didn't really have a lot of stuff, and the only reason my mom got me that was because I was driving her nuts in the car on the way to ice skating competitions. Those
She's
12-hour drives. Yeah.
12-hour drives.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
she said I was either talking too much or sleeping too much, so she got me a Game Boy.
So it was doing between talking or sleeping. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. My God, that's freaking crazy. What was your first system, Gothix? Just wondering.
First system was original Nintendo. I had first games I had was Punch Out or Knockout, whatever, I forget what it's called. I had some NASCAR game, and I had like original Mario.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was the first one.
Okay, so we had I only had 2 games. We had Double Dragon 2 and
It's a game.
yeah, Double Dragon was amazing. Yeah. And what was the other one? Oh, Super Mario Brothers, the first Super Mario Brothers. On my birthday, I remember specifically on my birthday, we didn't have enough money because games were still like $60, $70 back then on cartridges. And we were so hyped that on my I think my 8th or 9th birthday, when Super Mario 3 came out, we knew we couldn't afford it. So, but we were able to rent it. So my parents wrapped up no, there was actually, it wasn't even Blockbuster. It was a company.
Really?
It was a group called Payless Videos. That's the
I remember that.
Yes, Payless Videos. And then we they were able to get the Mario Brothers 3. And so the second we played, they was like, okay, we got 3 days. We got 3 days to finish this game. And my brother and I just stormed, we were just playing that for hours, because it was spring break, and we just destroyed that game. That's what most of my time was when I was a kid. But it's really cool.
I've only had 4. So the Game Boy, I got, someone gave me their Sega when I moved to Texas, and they gave me the cartridges, but then my mom couldn't afford to buy new ones. So I would just trade kids at school. I'm like, do you have a Sega Genesis? And they're like, yeah, I don't play that thing. And I'm like, I'll give you my lunch today if I can borrow your cartridge. They're like, you can have it. Rocket Knight Adventures was my favorite game of all time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then I
remember Rocket Knight. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got a PlayStation 2. And my whole family pitched in. They all got me games, but they were terrible. Like a motorcycle game. I've never even gotten past the second level on that thing. How do you do a loop-de-loop on a motorcycle? I don't know. And then my PlayStation 4, and that's it. That's all I've ever had.
So, yeah. That's so crazy, man. We're all playing the little who was poor kind of game right now.
What was terrible is Blockbuster would let you rent a game for one night. One night. How am I supposed to do anything? And my mom would do it on a Thursday, so that when I got
randomly
off. How am I supposed to get 2 hours of gameplay in? Yeah, stop it.
My boyfriend's mom used to work at Blockbuster, and he said that she used to hide games away for him and then like rent them out longer. So like he got the hookup growing up at least.
Oh God, see, that's the kind of hookups that you always wanted. Like the best hookups was like when you have a friend that worked at Blockbuster during that time too. You're totally right. Yeah, so the oh my God, yeah, wow, that's so crazy. And then now it's like it's so nice to just say that we don't need to worry as much on it, but now it's like we're having overabundance of different kinds of games coming in. So
someone asked me the other day what my favorite Mario game was, and I spit it out, and they were like, "I've never even heard of that." I'm like, "Really? Mario and the
really?
6 gold coins? That's like the best one."
Damn!
I've never played that one.
I've never
What
even
is
heard
that?
of it.
You can borrow it.
It as a kid.
Is that
I
handheld?
loved it.
I
Yeah.
could always get to the like Wario's castle, but I could never beat it.
Oh yeah, no, that was like, well, I can't beat Wario. I hate Wario too. I can't beat it still. But yeah, no, the 6 gold coins. It had like a spooky castle element to it, and Wario is the bad guy, which is like Mario's evil
Wario's the
doppelganger.
bad guy though. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really cool, and like there's like a really cool underwater. Like there was the first like integration of octopus in a handheld game. It was really cool. I've never seen any like drawings of octopus like that since, but it was a really neat game. I highly recommend if you guys can, get like what's the Fandangle thing you new kids do with like the old school, making it new school. Yeah, do that.
You mean
It's the
What's
first
it
game of
called? I can't
Wario.
English.
first game of Wario was was it Mario Land 2? No, was it Mario Land?
that's 6 golden coins.
Mario Land 2, 6 gold coins. Yeah.
That's what it was.
No
Yeah,
idea.
okay.
I played
It's
Mario.
so good.
2,
I'll let
that
you borrow
was
it, Smitty.
Hard and impossible to beat. The one with oh man.
The Lost Levels.
No, not the Lost Levels. The one that was on it was on Nintendo. And you had the radishes and stuff like that.
Oh, Mario 2.
Wasn't that Mario 2?
Well,
Yeah.
technically, it's not. Mario 2 wasn't really Mario 2. That was a different
Actually,
game.
It's Doki Doki Panic.
Yeah, it's Doki Doki Panic. So what Lost Levels was Mario 2, but we never got it because Japan thought that we were too stupid to. I mean, to be honest, like, dude, back in the day, Japan did not have any kind of like hopes for U.S. gamers at all.
Yeah, no,
so like,
absolutely not.
yeah, so
They thought we
they're
were
like,
idiots.
this game is going to be too hard, so we're gonna make our own game. We're gonna give them a different version of the game and then make it like simpler. But that game was not simple either, though, in its defense. But so they thought that Doki Doki Panic was something that we could handle, but they didn't give us the real Mario 2 until Mario All Stars, which was Lost Levels. So yeah, that
Lost
was
Levels is just mean.
yeah, it was just dickish. Yeah, what you had to do with some of that stuff,
I don't
like
think I've
poison
played it.
mushrooms. Oh yeah, it's a good game. Don't get me wrong.
played
It's
but
as if the Mario, like the level designers, just made troll levels. It's
essentially
so
did.
mean.
Yeah. Like man, like if you're talking about early Japan during that time, it was no joke. But it's like,
Well, Smitty was lucky he was in Okinawa, so he probably had access to said games.
but he didn't.
I don't remember. Like, I remember a lot of like. I don't remember a lot of like from like Nintendo, but I remember a lot more from Super Nintendo because you could get the Super Famicom cartridges, which were a little different than the Super Nintendo. But if you took a butter knife and you etched in the inside, it would make it so it would fit into a Super Nintendo and it would work. Is how we were doing gaming and stuff like that.
Are you talking about like the little? Yeah, there was like these little notch blocks.
Yeah.
That you had to pick out. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, like so like because there was no such thing as as breaking a game, breaking the game and stuff. You just like so it just they basically made the hardware just didn't physically push down unless
All
you
the
take
way.
out those notches. Yeah, if you take out
Right.
those notches, you have a region free Super Nintendo.
That's
at
exactly
that
what it
point.
was. Dude. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It was crazy during those times. Man, so many different kinds of cards. Yeah, so many. Or the other easier way, if you didn't want to do that, just get a Game Genie. 'Cause
Yeah.
Game Genie,
Dude, we absolutely had a Game Genie.
yeah, Game Genie didn't care. So like you just connect the Game Genie.
I'm
And then
googling
just
this. I've never heard of Game
Really?
Genie.
What?
Oh, Game Genie.
Oh my
yeah.
god!
That's
I
classic.
know what a Game Genie is. Yeah. Well, no, I
Game-
still love blowing my goddaughters' minds when they come over and they're like, "I want to play computer games with you," or like Adam's busy doing something and I'm busy. I'm like, no, let me bust out the Sega for you. And she's like, it's not working. I put it in. I'm like, you have to blow on it. Don't spin it.
You gotta blow.
She's like, really? This is a lot of work. I give up. I'm tablet.
This
I'm
is
like,
too much. Yes.
you have it easy. They all have tablets, and they're not
They
rich
do.
by any means, but they all have tablets. I don't even have a tablet.
I don't know if you guys also saw, but for like Mario Anniversary this year, Nintendo is planning on bringing a ton of like the older 3D games to the Switch.
I did hear
Like
that.
they're doing, I'm
Official,
pretty sure they're
though.
doing like HD remasters for them.
They said they're bringing Mario 64. You know what? The one game that I think
I
people
love
should
that.
play, the one game that I think people should really try giving another chance on is Mario Sunshine.
Or
I
I
think
Bubble
Mario
love
Bubble.
Sunshine.
Sunshine so much. They're
Yeah,
doing.
Mario
I
Sunshine was my
believe
favorite
they're
3D.
doing 64, Sunshine, and
I don't know what that is.
Mario World, and I believe Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. At least
Never-
one.
I didn't
Never
get
So
seen
any
two,
of
it.
those.
two is actually a better game. If they put them together in one game, that would be amazing.
I mean, if someone gives me Bubble Bobble, I'll be real happy.
I love Bubble
That was Rob.
love-
I had a computer.
Bubble Bobble was the only game I ever bought on like my old like flip phone,
Bubble.
way back in the day.
Oh my goodness.
Your N-Gage flip phone? Oh, yeah. That's so crazy. Man, okay, so I guess that was my topic, apparently.
Sorry, buddy.
So we'll
One big
definitely go. We're just talking about nostalgia right there. So I guess there we go. So, but we're almost out of time here. But anyways, we'll do that again next week. Gothix, thank you so much for stopping by with us. If you like to promote anything, well,
What
first
you
off,
up to?
what's your Twitch?
My Twitch is twitch.tv/Gothix. If you want to follow me on social, you can find me at Gothix TV. And thank you for having me, y'all. Y'all have been so lovely.
Thank you. Well, we're
It was
definitely
a
have
pleasure.
the honors all are. It's really great. I definitely loved it, enjoyed it, and y'all need to definitely check out her stuff. She has a really crazy
Amazing.
setups set up on her Twitch pages. So definitely check her out on Gothix. Is there are you planning on streaming anything? What's your plans this week? What are you planning on doing this week?
So, planning on getting back to streaming. I haven't been kind of motivated as of late, but I'm gonna try my best to stick to a schedule. And I have some new things I've been working on this weekend, so you'll just have to see.
Yes, perfect.
Yay!
Great deal. And Lex, what about you? What are you up to?
Well, I'm not as cool as Gothix. My robot is still in my head. But yeah, I think we have something planned for tomorrow and I can't remember what it is. Oh, Monster Hunter Monday, of course, Spoopy Tuesday.
Mhm.
I think we're gonna play a new game for Spoopy Tuesday. We're gonna start a new one.
Oh, okay, nice.
Along with the community games afterwards, which is first come, first serve. We've been having a lion lately. Sorry, guys. I can't help that. But yeah, I think Monday I'm gonna have a special guest who might do my makeup before we actually play games. So if you want to watch Adam, aka Indust, fumble around with some makeup on my face and hilarity ensue, you should definitely check that out. And then of course, my stream partner JTZ will be joining me this week on something. So if you like watching two adults scream, that's great too. So
Like profusely
That is an
stream.
accurate description of it.
headphone warning. Don't wear
Yes.
headphones if you come
Don't
on
wear
Tuesdays.
headphones.
Just
Yes, don't
don't.
go-
Nope.
Really
Oh,
funny.
and Risk of Rain. That was what it is. Risk of Rain had a new update, so I know a bunch of us are going to play that this week too.
Ooh,
Very
I
nice.
haven't played
Other than-
Risk of Rain since it like got officially released. I
Ooh.
don't think.
Pop, come play with us. We'll help you get all the characters.
There you go. So, yeah, y'all need to definitely be playing. That's awesome. And Smitty,
Schmitty.
what do you have planned this week?
I'm actually gonna take a break this week. I don't have any scheduled streams. Obviously will be. I may have some things on some other channels. We've got obviously this podcast will be coming out. Drops on Monday. I've got LAN parties. That's gonna be dropping this Wednesday, and then I did a podcast with Retro Lag here last week. So check that out. I'm Smitty2447 on all the socials. Taking a break. I wanted to take a step back. There's a lot of things that I want to implement within my stream that I just haven't. It's been so busy and crazy at work and whatnot. I just want to take some time, step back for a second, let me get my ish together because we got a lot of fun stuff in store. So yeah, I'll be chilling, but I'll be around. I'll be hanging out. I'll be playing a lot of Last Oasis, Overwatch. If we're friends,
me too.
hit me up. hit me up. Let's get some games in. But yeah, I'm excited to chill a little bit.
Yeah, that's slick. Yeah, you know what? That's probably a good game to actually stream on this channel. That's because like we're now, where are we at now? I think we're like 5 away to get to the 50 on
We
affiliate.
got a lot of followers today.
Yeah, that's
Division
cool. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so many different things to do. Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
stream Last Oasis through here. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start my thing after the podcast. So if you need me to take up some time, I'll do that for you, buddy.
I'm really interested in Last Oasis now.
Last Oasis is tight.
The servers are back up.
They are.
It is.
Adam was attacked yesterday, and I told him that if he gets attacked again, he better come and get me, and I'm gonna talk to them while he fights them off.
Yeah,
as Tina, as Tina, I'm gonna do it. Get out here, y'all. Yeah.
All right, and then for me on the CFG games, I'm gonna be on CFG Games. We actually, after today, I think I'm gonna be doing another anime game today. So I'm gonna do some One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 today, and I don't know. I'm debating, and I've actually wanted to get y'all's opinion on this, but like, cause I wasn't really sure, cause like, everyone and their moms are going to be streaming Final Fantasy this weekend, right? So like, it's not even going to be fun. Like those kind of games, I kind of like to go on my own to kind of be like, you know what? I don't want
streaming it.
The deal.
I just want to enjoy it.
Like,
I just want to enjoy it to myself, dude.
Yeah, I just want to enjoy it. So like and to me, because I'm not a big fan of Final Fantasy 7. So like so you know what? Shut up, Smitty. Don't judge me. But still,
Shame.
like I just don't. I think, but like I understand why it's so important. But like I was just wondering, like, were y'all playing on streaming it too, or are y'all in the same boat? You kind of want to enjoy that kind of world on your own, and then maybe, I don't know, in a while, before like the 400,000 people are going to be playing this game, this chapter of the game, mind you, to maybe then decide, you know what, I'll probably play it. But what's it called? What are you gonna say, Lex? Sorry.
Oh, I'm not gonna play it at all. I've actually never played any of the Final Fantasy games.
Oh, you don't like RPG? You're not a big fan.
No,
of
it's not that I had.
Blasphemy.
That's not true. I was a broke ass kid, so I didn't have the option to play them. And I feel like now there's so many other games that are on my like top. Like last year we finished all of the Kingdom Hearts games. That was a childhood like. Oh, I had to play those games. Also, Wishbone, I'm going to beat that game. I don't care if I have to break my computer to figure out how to bring it back because it was on a floppy disk.
Wait, are we talking about Wishbone, like the dog Wishbone?
Yeah,
or
Wishbone's Odyssey.
What?
Yeah, I had it on floppy disk on ROM on my PC. Like those are games that in my mind, are ahead of any of the Final Fantasy. It's not that I don't want to play them. They just, they look cool. But
I don't know your logic right now. I can't say I agree with where you're going with.
Everyone's gonna yell at me.
I
won't play it. I know.
I know
Smitty is gonna play it, and he's gonna play it off stream and enjoy it and absolutely love it. And I'm happy for him. And I understand the appeal of it because I do play Kingdom Hearts, and I know who like Cloud and all of those characters are. I just there's a lot of, I'm light sensitive, and so there's a lot visually that I'm not going to see if I play those games.
I think Kingdom Hearts is a lot more colorful than what Final Fantasy 7 is.
Yeah, but a lot of Final Fantasy has that like bluish white like streaking when they do their attacks, and I can't see for like a good 10 seconds after that happens, and that's a lot.
You know would a colorblind mode work for you?
No, because colorblind is like blue-green issues or like the red color. It's not that I can't see color; it's that I see white too intensely. So, like let's say you were to text me like in Discord, it takes me a second for like that. Oh, it's like looking at a headlight. Like I have that halo, and then it takes a minute for it to come back in for me to even tell that it's a letter. And that's the issue with a lot of games for me. And so if you guys are ever like, why isn't Lex playing X, Y, or Z? It's probably because I can't see it very well.
Okay, I see. Well, okay. Well, I mean, there you go. I mean, like I said, do your own. We're not judging you on it.
No, you did.
We'll see. But okay, well, we will definitely be stopping the podcast at this point. Guys, thank you so much for watching episode number 42 of the CFG Gamecast. We will be back again next weekend with a new episode. As always, I'd like to thank once again Gothix to be a part of the conversation, which was really awesome. And we'll definitely come check it out on if you didn't check this out on live, go on our podcast services on Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, or Podbean for the full episode. So this is Davis, Gothix, Lex, and Smitty signing off. Y'all, take it easy.
Bye.
Bye.